What is up, everybody? I hope your day is going well. This video is dedicated to the Matriarch. Yes, a class I think a lot of people do undervalue. I think a lot of people don't realize the power of the Matriarch. They prefer, more just, the standard classes. But I'm here to tell you, again, this is probably, I've made a similar video in the past, and now that I've got more power out of the Matriarch with summon magic, I've really grown accustomed to the class even more. I have decided the class is even better than I initially thought because I was telling you the class was good and I didn't even have summon magic. So basically, I have two Matriarchs. I sometimes bring them both. I generally at least bring one into battle, and obviously having cudgels with the +3 to spell range, and then a dagger for parry 1. I know parry 1's not great, but hey, it's there. I guess I could put a shield, but, they're kind of limited on the shield options. I've had people, say cudgel, bringing a weapon skill is kind of not worth it. But the weapon skill does affect your spells. It does give a modifier to the damage they do the higher the weapon skill is. So I don't feel taking that off justifies putting on another skill, like concentration, or, that's really the only thing I'd put on is concentration, and I've seen people make the argument, though, to remove it, because you're not really going to use your finishers on them, and they are correct. I don't really use my finishers, but if anything, the weapon skill bonus does also help with, offensive magic, as you can see right there on the tooltip, so that's why I leave it on. That's why I leave it on, just for the extra boost in offensive magic. And the thing that I love the most about Matriarch is just it can use pretty much every type of spell. You got your single target spells, which, you've been using since, the beginning. And then you start, you got your AoEs, just, which you're probably not going to use. I don't really use either one of these now that I got summons, but I'm just saying the option is there. And then you got your summons. And then, I just bring another summon to just for fun. This was a debuff, Poison Cloud or something silly, which is nice they have access to those, but I just figured double up on the summons. Why not? You never know how life's gonna be, what you're gonna need, and it's just nice to have the options. And I truly do love their defensive nature. The Ivory Tower, which makes them, if an enemy gets close, not only do they have the chance to parry with the dagger that I gave them, but if this is up, they can basically avoid 2 attacks, evade 2 attacks if you would, and keep alive because their HPs are not that great. It's respectable, but it's not that great. And then obviously they get access to the best meditate in the game. And then Intercession, which gives negate, is so useful. If you know anything about this game, later on in the game, all the enemy spellcasters have AoE, and they're just dropping AoEs on everybody. And it's so nice to be able to avoid that AoE with this character, because sometimes my caster units get clumped together on the back line, and they'll get hit with enemy AoEs. So, not always, but sometimes. And it's nice if this procs to have this up. Only downside is it blocks any kind of buff or healing, but it doesn't block potions. It doesn't block items. So another good reason that I don't really use healing spells in the game too much, unless it's very desperate or very situational or very specific scenario. So, and as you can see, both my Matriarchs are pretty much the same layout. And I will say their RT is a little high. Base 97 is kind of... I feel it's kind of on the higher end. I don't know about you guys. But base 97 seems a little high to me, so that's unfortunate. Probably because I got them with some heavier gear on. They don't, this obviously isn't caster gear that they're wearing, and I don't even think they can wear caster gear. See, they can't even equip, the robes and stuff, so... Unfortunately, they are wearing heavier gear, which kind of sucks, but... Hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, though, the Matriarch is one of the better non-human classes in the game that gets, the Lizardmen and the Orcs, whatever you want to call them, they get access to. I honestly like the Matriarch more than the Hoplite, even, and the Hoplite's a great class as well. But like I said, this video is just basically me telling you why I think you should use the Matriarch if you don't. If you don't use the Matriarch, these are some good reasons. The build's good. The skills are good. They have really good survivability. Summons are so OP in the game. Any unit that has access to summons, you might as well use them unless you're trying to make the game harder for yourself. And I don't really see a lot of talk about Matriarchs. I really don't. I really don't. And this is just a public service announcement for those of you that may not want to do it or don't know about it. I'm sure most of you know. Most of you guys are veterans in Tactics Ogre around here, and you know what's up. But for anybody that's new and doesn't realize that some of the best classes are the non-human classes. You know, the only way to get them is you got to go out of your way and recruit them, and it can be tedious. I know. I put off recruiting for a long time, but ever since I got my Matriarchs, I've been using them almost in every battle, and they are phenomenal. Hoplite is good as well, and Juggernaut's also pretty decent. You know, and all three of those classes are exclusive to non-human humanoid classes that aren't Hawkmen. You know, they have to be like the lizards or the orcs. It's what people call the other guys, the orcs. So it's great. I really enjoy it. I really think Matriarch's a wonderful class. It can really hold its own, really dish out damage, and it's got good survivability to go with it. So it's got something a lot of spellcasters don't, survivability. So hopefully you guys found this video interesting, entertaining. Let me know down below what you think. What are your thoughts on the Matriarch? Do you use one? Is there some reason you don't like them, you don't use them? Please let me know. And if you do use them, why do you love them so much? I would love to know that too, because, you know, I do take your guys' feedback into consideration, and you guys teach me a lot about the game, just as much as I hopefully teach you a little bit. And, you know, I love this game, and I try to make time for it as much as I can and get as far as I can. And I've messed up quite a few times, though. I've missed my chance on quite a few unique characters, which is depressing, but it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, later guys. Peace out.